Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here today, my name is Odds, and we are going to be talking about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So I'm going to give you my little review, talk about some of the highlights, some of the stuff that maybe wasn't so great in the movie, and give you just my overall thoughts. If you're new here today, I would love for you to subscribe. I do 2 videos a week, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, beauty vlogs, or something on this channel for everyone, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And if you like this video while you're watching, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. This movie is obviously very significant, coming off the major cultural significance of the first movie, but obviously the difference being is that we did lose Chadwick Boseman to a battle with colon cancer. They do put that pretty much into the movie. They say that he dies of an undisclosed illness, but it's pretty much led to believe that he dies of cancer as well. So the opening scene shows Shuri try to create the synthetic heart-shaped herb in order to save his life, but is unsuccessful. So there's a very beautiful funeral sequence within the opening scenes of the movie. We see a lot of it in the trailer, but it is very powerful, very moving. And this is being said going around online, especially on Twitter, that if you've ever lost somebody, this movie is really going to impact you, and I definitely agree with that. It's a movie about dealing with grief and having to move on, and realizing how you can exactly move on. So, sorry, by the way, there's spoilers in this video, but the main focus of this is the movie is really on Shuri's journey to overcome her grief from losing her brother. So she has Queen Ramonda for that. She is, while that's happening, they're also working on these threats that are coming to Wakanda, because Wakanda is not as protected anymore because it lost the Black Panther. So people are thinking that the country is weak, so they're coming to attack Wakanda and try to take its resources, aka its vibranium. While this is happening, we find out that Wakanda is not the only place with vibranium. Also, the city of Namor and his people, I think it's Talokan, it's different for the movie, but is also a vibranium-rich culture. So what was previously the Atlanteans, obviously they're not going that route for Aquaman comparisons, but they also have vibranium, and the US is trying to mine under the ocean to get the vibranium, but it's causing a issue for the people of Talokan. So Namor goes to, he finds out that this device to detect vibranium was created by Riri Williams, and wants to kidnap and kill her. So she ends up getting kidnapped along with Princess Shuri, and Namor proposes an alliance between his people and Wakanda, and he wants to basically eradicate the surface world. So he wants to pull an Ocean Master, not to bring in the DC comparisons, but he wants to pull an Ocean Master for a little bit of different reasons, because he saw the colonizers of the Spanish colonizers of Mexico, how they were treating the people there, enslaving them and so forth, when he was trying to bury his mother. So it's definitely, you get some semblance of similarities between his purpose, what's driving him, as you did with Killmonger, but I think he's a little bit more compelling. I think just because I don't know, I think the character's written a little bit better. I didn't love the Killmonger character. I know a lot of people are like, this guy's right, but he just wanted to wage war on the entire world, which Namor does too, but I'm not ever you're never really sitting there being like, Namor is right. I think because he is attacking Wakanda, so it's going to be hard to believe that he is in the right. So they go to war, and ultimately when Shuri could kill him, she decides not to. She hears the voice of Ramonda telling her not to take vengeance. So, pretty big plot that I left out. Shuri does become the next Black Panther. She does it for vengeance. She ends up creating the heart-shaped herb synthetically and ends up seeing Killmonger. Didn't love this sequence because I don't like Killmonger. I was literally like, this dude again. So yeah, he is in this briefly in a scene to try to show that Shuri's going to go down a vengeful path instead of a path of forgiveness and strength and being an actual protector. She's just shown as like an aggressor. She is the one who wages war against the people, against Namor's people, and she does end up sparing his life at the end. But Namor is not going to give up. He thinks he's going to create an alliance between him and Wakanda, so he is still going to be a villain moving forward. I thought maybe they would try to give him the sympathetic anti-hero deal. He's sympathetic, but he's still going to be a villain going forward. So I'll see how that works. It's important to note he is a mutant. He says, I am a mutant. He has his classic winged feet and his pointy ears. His costume is a little bit different because it's shown a more of the Aztec culture that is present through this specific iteration of the character, which I think is really impactful and shows just like the different cultures, two very distinct cultures that are often not represented, I think, between Wakanda and Talokan. I can't remember the exact name because it's not a comic name. It's something that was invented for the movie. So between that, some cool ocean shots. They do cool things like they ride on orcas and whales. I think this does a very good job getting away from any sort of Aquaman comparisons because they create that whole rich culture for Namor. This movie is 2 hours and 40 minutes long, so it's a very long movie. It doesn't feel that long. It is paced very well. I never was sitting there thinking, oh my god, when is this movie going to end? So that was never really a factor, which I think is really good. The pacing is really great. Some side characters we get Everest Ross again. Everett Ross? Everest Ross. Everett Ross again. We get Val, who we find out he was married to Val for like 10 years. So that's interesting. She is in this. She is director of the CIA. So really interesting to know more of her dynamics with the rest of them. He does end up getting arrested, but he ends up getting broken out. All your faves are back. M'Baku is back. Okoye is back. She goes through a whole arc as she gets stripped of the rank of general, and then she gets brought back. Ramonda is back. Nakia is back. We get a couple new introductions. We get Io is back, and her love interest is in this movie. Her love interest, Anika. And they do have an established relationship. You see them say "my love" and all that sort of stuff. So once they're, celebrating at the end of the movie. A big plot point is Ramonda does end up dying in this. She gets drowned by Namor. So that's a big push for Shuri's vengeance and Shuri's urge to become the Black Panther. Because she believes at the beginning of the movie that they're beyond needing the Black Panther, they don't need this anymore, and blah, blah, blah. So the reason she becomes Black Panther is because she seeks vengeance. And it parallels Namor pretty well because he's seeking vengeance against the surface world. But ultimately, like I said, she ends up choosing to go down a different path. So she will be the Black Panther moving forward. That being said, I don't know if Shuri was the obvious choice to be Black Panther, and I think it was the right choice to be Black Panther, but I don't know if Letitia Wright's definitely like the person to put a whole franchise backing on. She's not as compelling, and it's just the unfortunate reality of losing such a powerhouse like Chadwick Boseman. She's not as compelling as a Black Panther. I think they can definitely write her to be a little bit better, and I think she does a great job, but I don't think she's as compelling as a Black Panther, just to be quite honest. Riri Williams gets her Ironheart suit, but she ends up having to keep it. They have to keep it in Wakanda. She can't bring it back, so she's going to build a whole new Ironheart suit. So that's interesting. Big thing, post-credit scene, confirmed I was right. Nakia and T'Challa do have a son. His name is Prince T'Challa. He has a different Haitian name, but his name is Prince T'Challa. So it's, yeah, there is future of another T'Challa that can take over as Black Panther in the future if Shuri doesn't want to continue the mantle. She wants to kind of do something else. So I think we'll see maybe her for a while as Black Panther, and then he could take over as a new T'Challa. So it's kind of their way of getting around having to recast T'Challa if they just introduce a new T'Challa, his son. They kind of explain it pretty well that Nakia has been spending her time in Haiti, and he was raised there. They didn't want him in the spotlight and the pressure for the throne. So there is that. That was pretty much, that's what we got. So that's our future. We do have, another mutant in the MCU with Namor, and a future threat of Namor going against maybe some of the mutants or some of the Avengers in the future. So we'll see that kind of come to fruition at some point. Overall, I really liked this movie. I honestly think I like it. I know I like it better than the first one. I thought it was really good. The villain was really good. And they handled Chadwick's legacy quite well. I think it was beautiful. They were really reverent of it. And yeah, that is my thoughts on Black Panther Wakanda Forever. If you're interested in my thoughts on the movie, I mean, I can understand, though, it's not a movie that's necessarily made for me, so, but I did enjoy it, and I do enjoy it as somebody who absorbs a lot of Marvel content. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on Monday with a new video. Bye!